All right, hello again. This is another chemical test to identify potential fiber types. And this one that we're doing is the protein test. And the protein test works for identifying animal fibers because, again, the protein test is looking for that peptide bond that you have between amino acids that you only find in proteins. So the only two fibers that will test positive in the protein test are wool and silk. And what I have for our example here is I have wool right there. Remember, wool is often as yarn. And I also have a piece of nylon. It's obviously not animal. It's not going to have protein in it, so I can show you what a positive and a negative result look like. So there are two basic ingredients, reactants for this test: copper sulfate and sodium hydroxide. Now my wool and my nylon have been rubbing, or not rubbing, I've rubbed in a little bit of that copper sulfate solution. They've been soaking, that's the word I'm looking for, in that copper sulfate solution. And they've been there for a couple of minutes, because that's what you have to do in the protein test. You have to let your fiber sit or soak in the copper sulfate solution. And then when you are ready, it comes out and it's going to go into a beaker with sodium hydroxide for about 10 seconds. So let's try that. It's my copper sulfate. In goes the wool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Then it's going to come out. And what we're hoping to see is some hints of a purple color in there. Again, kind of hard to see. Camera doesn't always get super clear on this, but kind of right in the middle of that piece of yarn, we see that purple color. Kind of right there. We got that purplish color. Now it's really showing up elsewhere, which again is an indication of a positive result that this fiber has protein, so it must be one of our animal fibers. Just to contrast, again, let me do my nylon here for about 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll bring out the nylon, and you'll notice a very much a distinct lack of purple on it. Some blue from the copper sulfate, but again, compare and contrast with the wool, which has that much darker purple color. So again, protein test, we use copper sulfate and sodium hydroxide, and we get a purple color if we have peptide bonds, which is indicative of protein. So we're only going to have wool and silk test positive.